Women magnet fragrances. These are fragrances I almost always get a compliment with, and fragrances Sandra Solomon fragrance absolutely love. And it's been so long since I said it, but welcome back, the one and only Sandra Solomon fragrance.
Hi guys!
I chose 6 absolutely fantastic compliment getting fragrances for men, and you have chosen 6 fantastic fragrances as well.
Yes, I have chosen 6 amazing ones, and maybe even better than the 6 that you chose.
So ladies first, which is your first fragrance?
My first fragrance is from a line that I have always enjoyed. Not so much the last couple of years, because I think many of their fragrances has been quite the same.
Okay.
Now they have released a new one, and finally it's going in a bit of a different direction, and I really enjoy that. And I have chosen Valentino, Born in Roma, Ivory. This is really good. In the nose, there are something smoky, but I can't say I really pick it up. But what I do notice is that it's very aromatic, but what I also like, which is not in the nose, or which is not in the characteristics, it has something almost sweet and toffee-like over it. And that's what I really enjoy. So this is a perfect fragrance for someone who likes the aromatic kind of scent, but who doesn't mind a bit of sweetness in it. And for women, sweetness in a man's fragrance, at least if you ask me, is something very sexy.
Great choice. I'm not really surprised because I had a bunch of compliments while wearing Ivory. So there's absolutely no way we're gonna talk about women magnet fragrances without me mentioning one of my absolute all-time top compliment getter fragrances. What an absolute banger of a compliment getter this one is. So this opens up with a spicy kick thanks to cardamom. The opening definitely gets attention, and then it goes into the heart of it, which to me is pretty much dominated by toffee. So you have a gorgeous dose of sweetness, and the dry down is where the whole thing starts to get a bit woody, and the woodiness of it sort of helps balance up its sweetness. This is an absolute banger and definitely a women magnet. So this is Azzaro, the Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. What are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, you could have thrown any one of the most wanted fragrances on me because I love these. This one is amazing. It has a sweetness just like the Parfum, but the Parfum has a more bubblegummy sweetness, and this is a different kind of sweetness that is more woody and maybe kind of burnt in a way. If you have seen videos with me before, you know that when I come in the picture, I often bring something with leather. Leather fragrances on a man is so sexy. But this one is a leather fragrance that is not really focused on the leather. I mean, yes, the leather is a big part of the fragrance, but this is not a leathery fragrance.
I think this leather here, at least to my nose, is of the softer and smoother kind,
Yeah, definitely. And also it's more about the aromatic side and the woody side. But what I think this also has, just like the Valentino, this kind of toffee-like sweetness, just a hint, which is really nice.
There's something there's something almost sort of a buttery to its sweetness. I agree,
Yeah, I think so. So you really opened my eyes to these fragrances, and they are an amazing line of fragrances for men. And also with quite a lot of variety. I mean, going from cobalt, which is more aromatic and sweet, going into something with leather. So that combo of the aromatic side, the leather, and the slight hint of sweetness makes it so intoxicating and a great fragrance if you want to smell attractive.
The more I've worn it, I'm not sure if you can see it, I put a dent to it, the more I feel it's actually really sexy. And what I really appreciate about the Elixir is that this is a more mass appealing, less raw leather. So if you're a subscriber to my channel, then you know, and if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe right now. Then you know that I absolutely love the Club de Nuit line of men's fragrances. Club de Nuit has always been among some of my absolute top compliment getters, and this basically takes a bit of Club de Nuit but tones down that intense citrusy and lemony freshness of it, and instead amps up the sweetness and fruitiness of it. So this in a way could almost be described as the more fruity sweet, less sort of intensely bright, freshly bright version of Club de Nuit. It still has that gorgeous dose of pineapple and it's smoothly woody. This is Club de Nuit Precieux. This is gorgeous. So I'm pretty sure you put your nose to it before, but what are your thoughts on it?
Yes, I have. And You described exactly what I like about this one. I thought that the sharpness in the opening of the original Club de Nuit is actually quite sharp and kind of intimidating. It's not there when it dries down, but still in the opening it can be a bit too much. This is more fruity, this is a bit more sweet, and that's exactly why I think this is an amazing alternative to the original. The next one is a perfect fragrance for summer, and it is Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Paradise Garden. I mean, in this one, you get something that is green, woody, watery, but what I really think stands out with this is the combination of coconut, fig, salt, and sandalwood. That combo of those 4 notes makes this crazy good. I smelled this in warm weather, and when this comes on a body and then you get some sun and you get a warm skin and this oozes off your skin, it smells really sexy.
This definitely, like most freshes, need a bit of warmth to properly develop. So if you try Paradise Garden, make sure you do it like summertime or when you're on vacation.
But if you really want to have a women magnet fragrance on you and you want to attract women, I say wear this going to the gym. And also wear it if you're going to use the sauna after the gym, because then you'll get that warm body effect. When you get out, I mean, you take your workout, then you go to the shower, and then you go to the sauna, then you shower again, but spray it on.
Basically, like you're saying, wear it whenever.
Wear it whenever, but make sure
and
that
the sauna.
Yeah, wear the sauna whenever.
No, I know, but I
wear
mean...
it in the sauna, wear it on a warm body. However you want to do, just get your body warm with this one on and it's going to smell amazing and sexy.
So next up we have an absolutely epic compliment getter. So this basically takes the vanilla and lavender from the OG Le Male and adds a dose of warm, rich tobacco to it. Basically also amps up the sweetness of it. Now the sweetness in this one has an almost honey-like kind of feel to it, but what makes this an absolute banger is that rich warm tobacco together with the sweetness of it is balanced up by an aromatic touch thanks to lavender, and you also get a fantastic dose of sort of freshness and brightness from it. So what are your thoughts on one of my top compliment getters, Le Male Elixir?
This is hands down a compliment getter. I 100% agree on that. You said that this has the original and then it has added tobacco and amped up the sweetness. But what I think also, like you also mentioned, it's a different kind of sweetness. It's a more thick and maybe a more sexy kind of sweetness. I really do like the original, but this is something different. I still love the original. But
the OG is so underrated. What an absolute compliment getter that one is. So underrated. This definitely takes a different approach, a more sweet and sort of in your face, but in your face in a good way.
It's more masculine, it's more in your face, it's more seductive, and it just has a whole different story than the original.
I do want to quickly mention the Absolu version of Le Male Elixir. This is also a compliment getter, but in my wearing experience, the OG Le Male Elixir is definitely the more compliment getting one. However, I do feel you and I should do a proper comparison and battle of these two. I'm gonna let you guys decide. Let me know in the comments if you think we should do a battle between these two.
The next one I have chosen is one that is aromatic, it's woody, it's warm, it's spicy, but it's also slightly powdery. And as I always say, that I get a lot of bad comments about, powdery fragrances on a man
is absolutely fantastic.
Sexy.
Sexy.
Fantastic and sexy. So I chose Paco Rabanne, Invictus Victory, Absolu. This is an incredible fragrance. Instantly, this was something that appealed to me. It's so simple, but yet it smells so special, so you just can't not notice it. So speaking of women magnet fragrances, of course I was going to include this one.
And I'm so happy that you decided to include Invictus Victory Absolu. This has been, since I bought it, pretty much one of my top compliments. And it's interesting that you mentioned pretty much the same thing that I've said about this one, is that this doesn't smell like something sort of a revolutionary. I don't feel this is doing something extremely new, but this thing just smells incredibly good, both to me and to other people. So next up we have this, and this has also been among some of my top compliment getters since I bought it. And this is definitely the most mass appealing and likable, and in a way sort of a most wearable version of Tom Ford ombre leather. The leather here is extremely mass appealing, and I do feel the leather in Tom Ford or the ombre leather is creamy and very smooth. But the main sort of star of Tom Ford or the ombre leather is a dose of sweet vanilla together with a bit of spiciness. So that's basically what you're getting with this epic compliment getter. A bit of smooth, creamy leather together with a bit of sweet vanilla and a bit of warm spiciness. And it's also a bit sort of a powder. What an epic women magnet this thing is. So I don't think we talked about this together, right? What are your thoughts on all the ombre leather?
I mean, no, we haven't. And I think this is an amazing fragrance. I do know that ombre leather, the original, was the one that you fell in love with.
Yeah.
But I do know that you are also now in love with this one, right?
Yeah.
And I do agree with you. This is definitely the most easy to wear ombre leather you can choose. It's soft. It's almost, no, it's not sweet, but it's soft and warm in a way that is sort of more inviting than the other ombre leather.
So it's interesting that you also chose an ombre leather.
I actually did, and I'm gonna motivate why I chose this one. So I chose the Parfum, and if you have seen videos with us before, you do know that I love the Parfum. That's my absolute number one choice always.
So pretty much whenever we discussed the ombre leathers, the Parfum was your absolute favorite, whereas my absolute favorite in the line is the Eau de Parfum.
I'm the loyal kind, so no matter if they release something new, I'm gonna stick with this one because the Parfum is such a great fragrance. I did say that all the ombre leather is more warm, more soft, more inviting, but that's not always what you want. When I want to smell a real leather fragrance on a man, but still want something that is very gentleman, kind of like polished, very fancy, then it's the Parfum I want to smell and nothing else. So
this and the Parfum definitely have some similarities, but they are also quite different. This leads with its sweet vanilla and that super creamy dose of leather, whereas this is definitely more leathery and in a way also more masculine. So the next one has always been among some of my top compliment getters. This thing, when you spray it properly, is an absolute head turner and an insane women magnet. So I've always had a hard time trying to explain or describe what it smells like, but this basically, at least to me, is focused on a prominent dose of patchouli. You also get a gorgeous dose of vanilla, but I do not feel the vanilla in this is overly sweet in a way. And it has a gorgeous, soft, warm dose of spiciness to it, a hint of something sort of a sweet and a bit of florals. And I've said it before, I don't know exactly what it is about YSL Tuxedo that makes it such an epic compliment getter and a women magnet. I guess it's the overall sort of a blend. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Yes, it is unfortunately super expensive, but it is an epic scent. So what are your thoughts on YSL Tuxedo?
I think it's so funny that you mentioned that you have a hard time explaining exactly what it is that makes this so good. And the thing is that every time I smell this one, I can't put into words what I smell. What I smell is something very masculine, very attractive, very polished, and very, I would say, some guys don't like describing a man as elegant, but I think, elegant, I think the David Gandy kind of elegant, that's a good thing.
Okay.
And that's the kind of style and sexiness that I think about when I smell Tuxedo. Tuxedo is an amazing fragrance, but I'm sorry, I can't describe it. It's kind of a woody, kind of an ambery, kind of a floral, and yeah, that's like the best explanation.
So basically, if you want an epic women magnet with apparently David Gandy-ish elegant vibes, then yeah, Tuxedo.
The next one I have chosen is, it's not a classic because this is a new one.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, sorry for interrupting you. I'm not really surprised that you chose at least something from this line, because I do know that you absolutely love this line. And to me, this line is definitely among some of the most unique and fantastic fresh fragrance lines for men. However, I'm a bit surprised that you chose this flanker.
Yes, I have picked out Kenzo Homme, and this is the Indigo.
Yeah.
And the one I loved the most first was the EDT.
Yeah.
And the EDT had this calypso note that made it quite incredible.
Yeah, love that one, yeah.
I do love it. This one does not have that calypso, but it has something else that makes it smell very similar.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Anyways, so
Okay,
now you understand.
Yeah.
But what I do like with this one is that they have added some powderiness.
Yeah.
So if you want something that's kind of aquatic, watery, sandal, woody, it just has a touch or a powdery vibe, then this is an absolute fantastic fragrance. To me, this is a compliment puller, it's a compliment getter.
So next up we have a fragrance that has been among some of my top compliment getters, but I do know that for at least part of the fragrance community, this fragrance is extremely polarizing. But women absolutely love it. If you've used it and went on a lot of dates, then you know that it's an epic compliment getter and an epic women magnet. So this on my skin opens up intensely spicy, and I do think it's that opening with its intense spiciness that sort of scares some men away. But if you just wait for a bit, the whole thing, at least to my nose, turns quite gorgeously ambery warm, together with a bit of woodiness, a fantastic dose of sexy sweetness, and you also have a gorgeous dose of lavender cutting through the whole thing, giving the whole thing a bit of contrast. This is the 10 out of 10. Yes, you heard me say that. The 10 out of 10 epic women magnet cologne.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this?
Can you please let me speak now? I love this one. It's woody, it's spicy, it has sweetness, and that combo that they managed to create in this one is incredibly sexy. It's really interesting and it's quite unique.
Yes. So this was a lot of fun. Great doing this with you once again. It's been way overdue. Please drop a like and subscribe for more, and make sure you check out Sandra Solomon Fragrance's channel as well.